Come out of the box.
Hello YouTube, cheers and welcome to the basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
The basement is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So welcome back, basement family. Today, we're going back to the basics yet again. Okay? Listen. Please press that subscribe button. We need you. Let us know you love real hip-hop debate like we do. Also, the link is in the description on how you can purchase beats that you hear all throughout today's episode and every other episode. It's all Team Boxcutter Beats. Anyway, we're going back to the basics. Today's question, top 5 hip-hop groups of all time. Nothing else needs to be said. Top 5 hip-hop groups of all time. And with that being said, let go.
Top 5 hip-hop groups of all time.
Classic debate. Come on in.
I'm sure all of us will, agree or disagree. But all these groups are definitely legendary that we're gonna name, and they all, whether you agree or disagree, I'm sure everybody will agree they deserve mention.
Right.
With that being said, number 5. This was hard for me right here, actually. So I didn't want to leave anybody out. I got groups that I used to listen to wholeheartedly that influenced me a great deal.
Before we even get in there, there's a reason why number 5 is hard. There's a lot of groups. I mean, a lot of groups. And I'm gonna name just a whole bunch of them because I don't want to leave them out. But when it gets to me, when it gets to my top 5, I'll make sure to name a whole bunch of them so y'all know that there's a lot of groups that a lot of people forgot. And it was hard for me too, man. That's what it is. We don't have groups no more. But go ahead, man. We gotta change that, by the way. Let's do these groups, man.
Number 5.
Facts.
It's still hard. It's still hard for me.
You don't want to say it.
Still hard.
You don't want to say it. Take a sip, man.
I'm going to tell y'all where I'm at with it. For me, that's probably a toss-up between Gang Starr and Mobb Deep. Anybody who knows me and knows, the hip-hop that I listen to, that's the hip-hop, like when I think of the 90s hip-hop in New York in particular, and groups, those, Gang Starr for one, you talking about Primo, you talking about Guru, rest in peace. They quintessential, like they were some of the best at what they did. Like they had a sound that defined the East Coast, maybe throughout the 90s. Like they had a profound sound that defined the East Coast.
Guru.
Oh man, his delivery, his cadence, y'all know, unparalleled. Y'all know, if you ever heard Guru, y'all know Guru. Then his cadence, nobody had a voice like him, and he
Check
said
out Jazzmatazz.
Oh man, and he expanded, pushed the envelope. He was one of the first to do that. Push the envelope in hip hop and do the Jazzmatazz album. That was Guru. Primo, y'all already know. Y'all know the track record. When it comes to top producers, I think we did that show. He's up there, obviously. So, but together, like I said, forming Gang Starr. I remember I had the Hard to Earn tape. With joints like Mass Appeal on it, Code of the Streets, stuff like that. Like that's street Bible, reality rap back then. Before that they coined that phrase, reality rap. Dudes talk about trap rap and the gangster rap, this and that. We just simply call it reality rap, and they was some of the godfathers of that. Gang Starr, you know, listen, it's in the name. But yeah, and then Mobb Deep. It was they were very influential, putting Queensbridge on the map. There's, you know, historic and legendary projects, housing projects, the biggest in the United States, right? You know, currently, and putting that, keeping that tradition alive over there, where you have a lineage of MCs out of those particular projects. Mobb Deep, authenticity comes to mind. Always shooting the video in the projects. And just, you know, style and you know, the flavor that they was putting on the tracks. Havoc producing those tracks back then when they were really, you know, at the top of their game. And they were consistent, you know. You say what you want about Mobb Deep, they were consistent. There was a time, I think, when The Infamous came out in like maybe 95. They came back with Hell on Earth in 96. These are gold and platinum, you know. Then they came back with the Murder Music, I think might have been in 98, which was the platinum joint. So say what you want about Mobb Deep, and this is just off the top of the head, people. My man Bruce, he'll tell you, you know, he'll write it down. This is off the top of my head, but Mobb Deep was very consistent back in the days. And so that's, I had to get those two in there. But moving on, number 4, obviously NWA. We talk about impact on the culture, beats, rhymes. At the time that they did it, it was groundbreaking. Fuck the police, like, oh man, the whole thing, the movement, like the NW niggas with an attitude. You know, everything about them was controversial. It was, you know, it was groundbreaking at the time. And so, you know, like I said, the impact on the culture, NWA alone. Number 3, that would have to be UGK for me.
Whoa!
Definitely has to be UGK for me.
Wow.
Some may say, why is that UGK for me? Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Facts.
We look at what's what right now in hip hop, as far as the South dominating and having a chokehold. I think everybody would have the same, you know, opinion on over the last decade and a half. What's what in the South pretty much dominating hip hop, the genre that we call hip hop. And they was some of the first I heard. We all know that the Ghetto Boys put it down a few years before them, but they was some of the first I heard out of the South with the Southern accent and everything. We country down here that was talking about the streets in depth about it. From the keys to the pocket full of stones that's in your pocket. They covered it from A to Z. They covered it from A to Z in detail, and like the raps was on point. I can't even remember whack. Like, you don't even remember whack UGK music. Like, the music was just, you know.
There was none.
And so for that alone, like I said, influence. We talk the South, period, pioneers of it. That's UGK. That's the Underground Kings. So for me, that's number 3 on my list. Number 3 group of all time. Now 2, that's gonna be Wu-Tang for me. Wu-Tang Clan. I don't think we've never seen it before them, and I don't think after them we seen. You know, you had NWA, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 4 or 5 members. You had Cube, Ren, Easy, Dre. You know, it's like 4 or 5 members. Yella, if you count the DJ, as Bruce likes to remind me. You know, but it was like 4 or 5 members to NWA.
Get the DJ.
But Wu-Tang Clan, you had 9 dudes that could rap. 9 guys that could rap. Seriously, too. Like, hold their own. I think eventually all 9 of them came out with their own solo album. So that's a fact. Like, all of them could rap and hold their own. Together sharing the track, it was crazy. Because they was coming, each of them had their own style, is what I'm saying. Long story short, each of them had their own style. To this day, you know, they might have been the most diverse. They may have been the most impactful universally. You can go to China or London and, you know, you throw the W, Wu-Tang is serious. I was watching something on the internet earlier. Ghostface was in Texas years ago, and the dude was trying to heckle Ghost on stage, and the crowd ended up pounding the guy out for Ghostface. Like, this is the kind of, you know, impact that they had on the culture. Like, Wu-Tang, you know, y'all heard the stories. Like, they don't get beat up, they do the beating up. They, you know, they pound you out. That's Wu-Tang. Like, authenticity, New York rap at its finest. When you talk that era, people speak of the golden era, you know, Wu-Tang was right there. And they did their numbers. The 36 Chambers is still, to this day, you talking Cream, Also Simple, some of the best songs ever recorded. You know, you talking to RZA, one of the best producers. Method Man, gotta be in your top 20, 25, 50 MCs of all time. Raekwon, Ghostface, like, genius. Like, you talking about dudes that can rap with the best of them, period. And like I said, when they all share one track or one album, at that, it's usually something historic. It's usually something, you know, that hip hop has never seen before. And like I said, for that, they're number 2.
We're gonna do number 1, and you're gonna make them wait. Listen,
we'll see where Bruce is going with it.
Man, you really put me to the test, man. You really put me to the test, but I'm not changing. I think where I'm at is just right. I want to make sure that the people know, though. You have it as a tie, so you cheated. You have a tie at number 5, Gang Starr and Mobb Deep.
I cheated a little bit.
That's what's up.
It was a toss-up.
I can understand it. I, in turn, made an actual decision. But before we go there, this is what I was saying earlier. Check this out. I'm just going to name some groups. And you got, just to show you how many groups there are that you guys forgot about. And I'm not even going to name them all. He mentioned earlier Smith & Wesson, right? And so it's not even on the list that I have.
These were groups I had to leave out too.
Right. Crucial Conflict, 8 Ball MJG, He Said UGK, Do or Die, Bone Thugs and Harmony, 2 Live Crew, Grave Diggers, Alcoholics, Souls of Mischief, Third Base, Run DMC, CNN, Capone and Noriega,
Legends,
Farside, Dead Presidents, Ghetto Boys, Cypress Hill. Y'all remember Cypress Hill?
All just honorable mentions.
Come on, this is all honorable mentions, okay? EPMD, Goody Mob, The Lox, The Roots, Fugees, De La Soul.
Let you know we ain't forget about nobody.
You understand what I'm saying, people? And this isn't even half of them, because I got another more to go. Like we had 13 minutes. So this is why it's so hard. We forgot about groups in hip hop. And the reason why we forgot about groups in hip hop is because we let the corporate interests take control of our music. What happened was they decided that it's easier to promote and push a star, a superstar, someone with a face they can put on an album. And ever since then, it's been hard. You look at the new groups. And I mean new as in just starting from Hot Boys, Migos, Lil Jon, Eastside Boys, and Travis Porter. You can name 1 or 2 others, that's it. There's a lack of groups simply because we let the corporate interests come in and learn how to make money off a superstar. They put the face on the album, and it's a lot easier to push a single person and his likes and dislikes and put him in a reality show than it is to push a group that makes music, like they do in rock music and every other music.
That's a fact.
There's a lot of groups, people. Let's get back to that. Okay, sorry, I digress. Number 5 for Bruce Lively, A Tribe Called Quest. It was hard. I wanted to put the groups there, but I can't, because A Tribe Called Quest has been doing it from 1985 till yesterday. The dudes just came out with an album in 2016, and Phife Dawg was dead, gone. And the album was banging. Ask anybody. Young, old, ask anybody. Banging. That's 30 years. Man, nothing's like it. Y'all check out Midnight Marauders, okay? Low End Theory. Classics. These are classic. All right, I got to keep going because we're running out of time already. We're running out of time already. Tribe Called Quest, number 5 for Bruce Lively. Public Enemy, 1982 till yesterday. Y'all didn't know that. Did you know that Chuck D is now the new lead rapper / singer for Rage Against the Machine? The new Rage Against the Machine. And they're playing shows. Yesterday. P.E. Chuck D. Flavor Flav. Okay? Man. Fear of a Black Planet? Are you kidding me? These are the people who taught us what it meant. They taught us what it meant to be proud of who we are. They had that in the 70s and the 60s, but guess what? I wasn't born then. When I was growing up and I wanted to know how to be proud of being black, it was Public Enemy that did that. They're number 4. NWA, for everything that he said. Number 3. Pioneers, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre. Ice Cube is... Dr. Dre... There's a thing about my list that you can find out. It's from now till today. This is longevity that plays the biggest part and quality. NWA. If you don't know, just check them out. Wu-Tang Clan number 2. Simply because I've never seen 100 different rappers that all can rap come together in a single group. Let's be honest. I have more facts, but facts are boring when you're talking about something like this. We're talking about Wu-Tang Clan, people.
That fool just paid $2 million for Wu-Tang.
Martin Shkreli just paid $2 million for a Wu-Tang album that nobody else can hear but him. That was yesterday, is what I'm saying. These are classics, and there's so many other groups. I named them all. This was harder than I thought. But I'm so glad we did it because I forgot about the groups. Let's get back to it. I'm going to recap before we get to number 1. Number 5 for me, Low End Theory, Tribe Called Quest. Number 4, Public Enemy, 1982 till now, Chuck D. Check them out. NWA, number 3, and Wu-Tang Clan, number 2. Before I get to number 1, give them the recap.
A recap mine. Like I said, it was very hard for me for all the names and groups that my partner just mentioned. But Mobb Deep and Gang Starr, number 5. Number 4, that's NWA. Number 3 was UGK. And number 2 was the same as Bruce's number 2, Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with.
With that being said, yes.
Backups.
We do have the same number 2. And I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with y'all. I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. We have the same number 1. We probably have different reasons as to why.
Sure, let's say it together. I want to make sure. Let me see. Let me guess. Let me guess. Wait a minute. 3, 2, 1.
He's a funny guy.
Outkast. Outkast. I
got Outkast.
I got nothing else to say. Tell him about it, man.
He loves to talk about it.
Tell him about it, man, because it's going to be a 30-minute show if I start talking.
In totality, his favorite rapper is on it. So it's, that's a joy for him anytime. For me, I keep it in perspective. The best group of all time, for me, definitively, is Outkast. And definitively. For this, because as I just spoke about with UGK, if you look at where the South is right now, you say, well, what started that whole momentum? As the kids like to say right now, what got it lit? How did it get lit?
Outkast.
Well, the South was lit because of Outkast.
Southern
Bottom line,
player.
you did have the 8 Balls and MJDs, you did have UGKs, and of course we can't forget about the Ghetto Boys. Outkast. Why is everybody say Outkast when it comes to that? One, the music. So the music, you ever heard of the Dungeon Family? Organized Noise.
Organized Noise. Outkast. Keep on going.
Now, as it comes to Big Boy and Andre, Big Boy is no slacker, and especially on the track with Andre 3000. Andre 3000. There's not much more you can say. The guy's versatile, the guy's versatility. He had the solo album on the last album, but getting back to the group talk, I never seen a group in my life. Every album that they made was either as good or better than debatable than the last one. And so that's why for me, like, honestly speaking, like, if you look at their catalog, I really can remember the albums off the top of my head because they were just that important as time continued to go on. Like, wow, these guys, you could debate, was it as good as, you know, was it better than Southern Playlist and Cadillac Music? But you're never gonna say, well, this Aquemini was trash, or you would never say
as good or bad.
Yeah.
It's as good or better.
You never said that about any of their albums.
And when they did come out with the most controversial one with B.O.B. on it, when they came out, yeah, right. When they did come out with that, it was still so critically acclaimed that maybe it wasn't for you, but everybody else loved it. You can't down it.
And that's my whole point. When
it's better.
You couldn't pick a better name for themselves.
It's better.
Cash.
It's better.
They got music for him. They got music for her. They music for everybody. Good music too. Good quality music on every level. Across the board. And like I said, they was. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. Like, they was some of the first. You had your Scarfaces, you had Bun and Pimp, you know, out there in Texas. They were some of the first that I remember, like, the lyrics, the substance in the lyrics. Let's just be honest, like, you know, what they were saying and how they were articulating it. It was second to none. It was second to none, and it still is, actually.
It
still
and
is.
You
know,
your mama and your cousin.
You can't remember a whack verse. You can't, you know.
Rolling down the strip on Bo.
They wasn't playing. They went to the Source Awards. Or Andre, the South got something to say.
Coming up, slamming Cadillac doors.
Wasn't playing. The South never looked back since.
We done.
And, you know, Impact and everything.
We're done.
It has to be Outkast.
If it's not Outkast, you're wrong. No, yo, family. If it's not Outkast, you're wrong.
Gotta be Outkast.
Now, we usually debate. We go back and forth. We have differences of opinion. Like I said, this is one of them ones that it's no debates. It's just a choice.
And I'm just, you know, that's...
If you don't have Outkast, you're wrong.
I'm speaking in my personal preference in the quality of the music. If you really want to go into album sales...
We're not... I'm done.
if you want to go into album sales, like, we could do that too. Like, you know, that's Outkast across the board. That's just Outkast. So... It's not just me. The masses felt the consensus. The masses felt the same way across the board. Like, every Outkast album, it was quality. He showed it reflected in the numbers. When you listen to it, you know that. Like, there was no other group that really, you know, put albums and songs together like Outkast did. Best of all time, in my book. What do y'all think?
Leave them comments. D-Boy, do we have shout-outs?
Mm-hmm. I see Young Cunt.
Back again.
LOL. I'ma subscribe. Fuck it.
Facts.
That's a good choice right there.
It's a good choice.
Dwayne Davis. You two niggas get a life. Get the fuck off y'all ass and get a motherfucking job. Feel you there. This is our job. Sauce 302. Appreciate the comments though.
Yeah,
Dwayne
definitely.
Davis and Young Cunt. Sauce 302D. Been subscribed for a couple months. Keep it up, fellas. Y'all shouldn't change a damn thing. Good content every time, 100. We appreciate that. That's what we do it for. On that note, we appreciate the love from all of y'all. Keep pressing that subscribe button and keep leaving your comments.
I'm done. Peace.